Well, good morning, everybody. Jason here with Happy Tales RVing. We've got the beacon behind us, and today we're going to show you how to work on a Truma hot water. Well, let me take that back. A Truma water heater. It's not a hot water heater, it's a water heater. And just a general maintenance. And that is a decalcification. There's certain steps you have to go through, tablets you insert into it, and it takes a little bit of time. So today we're going to show you a step-by-step and how to do that. All right, come with us and we'll show you. All right, so we're here in the bathroom and our controller is right here. First thing you're going to want to do, I'll zoom in here, is we keep it on eco. And this light here, this light usually indicates by flashing. It's going to flash once about every 7 seconds or so. That indicates that it needs to be flushed. We don't know what's happened to this thing since we've had it. So what you have to do first is you have to turn it off. You'll see eco, run, off, winterize, that's what this one is, and then clean. We'll come back here after we insert the tablets and we'll turn this down to clean. But in order to do the tablets first, you have to put it on off. So we're going to go outside and then we will show you where we input our tablets and kind of the process you go through there. It is a little bit of back and forth at first, and then you start the clean process. Okay, first step, we're going to come over here to our water tap and we're going to shut our water off. We need to have that off so that obviously no pressure is in the tank. So just come down there, we'll turn that guy off, and now our water is off. I'm also going to come down here to our Y and flip that off so that the pressure is gone. Now we'll go inside, we'll open up, what is that, 4 valves. We're going to open the sink. If you have a dishwasher, you might want to try and relieve it there. The kitchen sink, 2 bathroom sinks, and the shower. Okay, so we shut the water off outside, and now Beth is going to turn on the hot water, and we're going to drain it out of all 4 areas. We're going to drain these guys here, and then we'll go up into the bathroom, and we'll drain the bathroom. We want to make sure that we turn it to hot water to make sure that we're draining out our hot water. Okay. And then we will drain our shower as well. And as you can see, we are just about out of water. And so now we'll go to the Truma. So I'll point the little elephant in the room. We're trying a new microphone. We've had some issues. Well, we're retrying a microphone. We've had some issues with the mod on the GoPro. So bear with us. We've got some other mics on order. They just didn't show up in time for this guy. So hence why the shirt's dangling and all that fun jazz. We'll probably see this thing move throughout the video. I apologize ahead of time. But now we'll go outside. We'll go to the Truma and I'll show you how we do that. So the little tablets are these guys right here. I'll zoom in on this. We will have a link down in the description. You can either get them directly from Truma's website, or we'll have them on the Amazon link down below. There are 6 tablets in here, and we'll show you how they kind of go together in the they're in a foil pack. Let's pull it out here real quick, and so you can see they're little foil tabs. There are 6 of them, and we will show you how they go into where they go and how they work. So one box does 1 decalcification. It's a good note, because I thought before I did my research that, hey, there's 6 times I can do this. No, not true. So come along, we'll show you. So the next step is to find out where your Truma water heater is. Ours is up above the, I guess you'd call that the mother's attic of your 5th wheel. That's only because that's where our master bath is, and so that's where most of the hot water is consumed at. So we're going to come up here and we are going to pull our cap and lift it. Now we have a full body paint, so make sure you're a little careful with that guy. First thing you're going to do is you're going to turn your power off, and you're going to make sure that that stays off for this process. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to pop this guy open, and that is where our tablets are going to go. Also, we're going to have some residual water come out of there. So I just wanted to show you before I hand the camera off to Beth so that she can film. I do have a 2-gallon bucket here to try and catch some of that water. Not that it hurts anything, but it'll just keep it from splashing on everybody and everyone. So without further ado, I will hand this over to Beth, and we will open this. We'll pull out the strainer that the tablets go into, and we'll kind of show you step by step on that guy. All right, so first things first is we've released the pressure, so we'll still get a little bit out of that guy. That's our pressure release valve. But most of it's going to come out of this guy. And we're going to pull him all the way down. And you'll see that water kind of comes out here. This is just draining out of the tank. And we're going to pull this out. And this is our filter, as well as this is where our tablets are going to go. And look at that. So the screen, this one's got some goobers on her. It's kind of dented in. But for the most part, the screen is nice and clean. These are the O-rings. A lot of times these will get dry rotted on your O-rings. Don't use Vaseline. Don't use any type of petroleum base. It will eat away at these guys. You'll want to use a water-based type of sealant on your O-rings here. So hopefully Beth is showing the O-rings and not me. So now we pulled out, probably a quart of water. Now what we're going to do is we'll just come down here. Now that we have it, we can just kind of dump it out. The water will be warm. It shouldn't be scalding hot. I'm going to take our blister pack. Luckily, it's a lot easier than your pill bottles, or your pill blister pack, I should say. We're just going to pop these out, and they slide inside here. All 6 of these are going to slide into this filter screen, like so. Now, this whole process, again, is going to take a little over 3 hours to do. So there. All 6 are in there. Okay, just like so. Hopefully you can see that on the camera. And then we're going to go and we're going to put that right back. I'm not going to worry about putting any lubrication on here because there is still some left over from the factory. I'm just going to look inside, and I'll grab the camera real quick from Beth. I looked inside there. We don't have any obstructions or anything. And this is your hot water tank. That's it. Nice and small and tiny. Doesn't need much. So we're going to slide this guy back in. Oops. Like so. The lips go towards the top. And it does say top on top of the filter here. I'll show you one more time. You can see right there. Right here it says top. And then all we're going to do is we're going to lift this guy back up, just like so. Smack it back in place. We're going to turn the power back to on. I'll hand that to Beth. All right, now for the important part. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to turn on the water. Beth's going to go inside, and she's going to open up the faucets, and we're only opening them enough to get the air bubbles out of the line so that we have no pockets of air, and it'll let this guy work the way it's supposed to. Also, it's a little windy out here, as you can hear. We're going to go ahead and put this cover back up so the wind doesn't, smack it against the side of the coach and scratch up the paint. All right, so Beth is going to head inside. I'm going to go turn the water on, and we'll meet you in there. Okay, so we've got that all buttoned up outside, so now we're going to come back in and we're going to turn on our hot water and try to get all the air out of it. There we go. And that's what we want to see happen. We'll run that on this guy, and then we'll go up in the bathroom. We'll turn those on real quick, and we'll make sure that the air is out of them as well. And to be honest, we shouldn't get any air. Well, get just a little bit there, but for the most part, we should be okay. A lot of the air will come out of your first unit that you use. All right, so we've got all the air out of the systems now. We'll go ahead and shut those off, and we're ready to rock and roll. And the simplest part. Now what we're going to do from off, we are going to take and we're going to rotate this guy down to clean. And you'll see that that indicator will flash, and then it should come on steadily. I'm going to go double check, and I'm going to show you what we looked at to make sure. Okay, welcome back. So I wanted to do a little bit of clarification. So this guy is going to blink 1 time or 1 second on, 1 second off. It's going to do that for the next 3 hours. After that, it's going to blink rapidly. That's how you'll know that the decalcification is done. Now, the main reason I'm doing this is because we've had this unit for about 5 weeks now. And again, I don't know when it was done last. It wasn't hooked up. It didn't have batteries. So we don't know how long it sat. So this is kind of a good housekeeping task to do. I believe the tablets cost just under 20 bucks, so it's not expensive, and we've got some time to kill. It's a nice day out. We're going to let this thing kind of do its own thing and continue with our stuff, and then we'll come back and we'll finish this video out with how we did it, and we'll go from there. Alrighty guys, thank you very much, and we'll fast forward to completion, and we'll give you the rundown on how we do that guy. Okay, so one last thing that Beth brought up that I did not touch on, and I kind of wanted to touch on that real quick, is inside of your box of your decalcification tablets are these little guys here. Basically, it just says, attention, decalcification. Basically, we're both working on it. It's only 2 of us here. The idea is that if you're a service technician, or if you're doing it while your spouse is gone, your spouse comes back, you hang these on the necks of your faucets so that people don't use the water and interrupt the decalcification process. Again, this is a 3.5 hour process, so it does take a while. So that's why they have those out there. Alrighty. Okay, so it has been about 2.5 hours, and you can now see that guy is flashing really fast, and that is actually what you want. So now the next step we're going to do is we're going to open all of our hot water valves until that light goes out. So we're going to just open all the waters. Beth is going to open them up front, and I'll turn on the shower here. And basically what we are doing now is we're flushing out the lines. And we're just going to wait for this little, and you'll see that it almost looks like we have winterized, because all the water is going to be pink. And you can see the grossness that's coming out. That is the decalcification. That is that yellow, ooky, nasty looking stuff. So that is normal. That is what you want to see. That is part of this whole system kind of working through its way, getting rid of that stuff. You do want to be careful with that. It will stain, so you don't want it all over your clothes and everything. Obviously you wouldn't be standing in the shower, but I'm just saying, You don't want to have it splattering on you because it will stain. So we're going to kind of continue this flush until our light turns off, and then what we'll do is we will turn off the water. We'll turn off the valve or the switch, the one that's flashing. We'll turn that to off, then we'll go outside and I'll show you what we're going to do out there. Okay, so it takes a while. It's going to take about 5 minutes. They say up to 8 to 10 gallons. Just be patient and your light will go off, and then you turn it over to off. Now we are going to go outside and we're going to shut off the water, and we're going to shut off the switch. Sorry, I have brain fart there. We're going to shut off the switch on the side of the Truma, and we'll show you how we finished cleaning that out. As you can see, it's in depth, so you'll want to have hookups because you're probably going to put a lot of water into your gray tank when you do this. So you're going to want to be able to drain your gray tanks after you're done with this process. Side note, after you shut off the water, you want to come back inside and release the pressure just like you did last time. That way you don't get a face full of water when you open the bypass valve there on the Truma. Okay, so got our handy bucket here. It is a little windier than it was this morning, so hopefully you can hear. If not, we'll dub over this. So we're just going to basically do the same principle that we did before. We're going to come up here. We're going to shut that to the off position. And then we are going to pop this down. Now, it does state to try not to get this on yourself or your body of your paint. We're going to have a little bit of an issue here because it is windy. And we're going to pull out our filter like we had before, and we're going to go rinse this guy out real quick. There are some residuals in here, and after this is done, I'll show you. The water is kind of pink, just like the antifreeze. That's what they don't want onto your body. I'm going to open the pressure valve up top because that'll keep it from gurgling, and that'll get all the water out. Just remember to close it if you do open it. Not a lot, just about the same that came out last time, about an inch of water, so. Close that guy, I'm gonna let this guy drip dry, and Beth will show you the water. As you can see, it's pink, and then you can see that there is some residual on this faucet here, so we are going to go and rinse it off real quick. Now, keep in mind, we do have our water shut off to the coach, but I do have this Y open. This is usually what I use for my black tank rinse out. Basically, everything is dissolved. What I'm doing is I'm just trying to get the little bit that was left in there. You can still see there's a little bit right here, so that means I need to hit it again. It's just a filter. All right, so now we're nice and clean. What we'll do is we'll set this guy back in. We'll turn our Truma back on, and then we will flush the system back through, make sure that everything is working properly, that we don't have any red tint. We shouldn't, because as we drained it all out, we didn't have anything. Now, speaking of red tint, you need to dispose of this water properly, aka don't just dump it on the grass or put it in the street so where some dog or cat in the park can eat it. Go ahead and dump it back down your drain, get it back down into the sewer, and dispose of it properly. Okay, so we got back on the ladder. Remember, that says top, so it goes in here like so. You can tell because you won't be able to get it over the hump of the ramp here. We're just gonna push this guy back up. Again, if you opened up your pressure relief, make sure that it is now closed. And we're gonna flip that guy back on. We're gonna put our lid back on, and that's all we need to do outside. We'll go back inside. Well, first I'll go back, I'll turn the water back on, we'll go inside, then we'll bleed the system. We'll make sure that there is no pink in the lines, and as long as there's not, we're okay. If there is, what you'll have to do is you'll have to repeat this system, not the tablets, but you'll have to shut your water off, drain this tank out once again, and then turn your water back on, go back inside. So I kind of hope there is, but I kind of hope there's not. Usually there's not, so I'm pretty sure that we won't have any issue with that. So let me go turn the water on. Beth will head inside, and then we'll show you what we do inside. We're going to turn on our hot water and try to get all the air out of it. There we go. That's what we want to see happen. I'm going to let this run for just a minute, and then what we'll do is we will turn on the switch inside at the Truma switch to start heating the water again, basically. And that's it. So pretty simple. It's just time consuming. It's going to take, like I said, it's going to take a bit. It's going to take you probably 3 to 4 hours for the whole process from start to finish. But once it's done, it's done. And again, this is kind of like your anoid rod that you have on your Suburban water heater. It depends on how much you use it. Depends on how much it's sitting there. So because we full time, we'll probably do this about once every 9 months or so. You'll notice when you start getting scale and stuff like that that it's time to do it. So I went ahead and I dumped this bucket down into the drain, and I'm still on hot water. I just want to make sure, because it's a white bucket, we want to make sure that there's no pink residue at all, which there isn't, so that's a good thing. And the reason I dumped this down the drain, it's not going to hurt anything. This is all the stuff that was already in your system, but it's the chemicals that were in the Decalcification Tablets that I don't want to hurt anybody's dogs or cats or pets or anything like that. So it's now in a controlled system. We're going to go outside, we'll flush the tanks and let it go. And we already have hot water, so cool. Alrighty guys, so that's it. What do you think? Pretty hard? Pretty simple?
I thought it was simple.
It is pretty easy. Again, it does take a little bit of time, but nothing too major.
No.
So don't forget to, give us that thumbs. We do appreciate it. It does help us out on that algorithm, as you all know.
Any comments, put them down or questions, put them down in the comment section.
We'll get back to you as soon as we can. But until then, you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.